So you are doing discovery calls, but they are not producing clients. What are you doing wrong? Today, that is exactly what we're going to talk about.
I'm Lisa Baldwin, and I started my VA business with a laptop and an idea. Now I'm going to teach you to do the same.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Lisa Baldwin, and I provide tips and tricks to help you grow or launch your very own virtual assistant business. And I drop new videos every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every single week of when I have new content available. Today, we are going to talk about your discovery call and why it is not yielding the results you are hoping for. So in the past, I have done a couple of calls talking about the discovery call, and I will link those in the comments below. But today, I specifically want to talk about your approach to this call and why it's not working for you. So just to quickly remind you, what is a discovery call? So just a brief summary of what the discovery call is it is a call with a potential client where you identify what their business needs are and then determine if a working relationship is going to be something that is going to work between your business and theirs. The first thing you need to remember, and possibly this is what is not yielding those results for you, is you need to think of this as an interview process, not a sales call. So many times you may get on that call and think you need to sell yourself. You need to do all the talking. You need to talk about why you're the best virtual assistant for them. You need to talk about how you can help do this, that, and the other thing for their business. And you are doing all the talking because you hate sales. Right? A lot of times, let me tell you something about virtual assistants, and you probably know this if this is the type of content that you're listening to. We're not salespeople, right? We're a lot of times not very extroverted people, right? And that's kind of a generalization. That may not be the case as far as you're concerned, but we're not salesy. And when we feel like we have to be salesy, we get nervous and we say stupid things or we do stupid things. And like, you might be like bombing the whole thing. Like, you are probably the problem if your discovery call is not yielding results. And let me just, we're gonna fix that for you today. So again, this is an interview process. It is not a sales call. This is not a sales pitch. You are not selling anything. It is an interview process. Write that down. Interview process. You are interviewing them. And I've talked about this in that discovery call video. You need to find out if they are who you want. You need to figure out who leads the conversation, and it needs to be you. What that makes it look like is that you know what you're doing and you are an authority. You have confidence in your skill, even if you don't have confidence. Pretend you have confidence. That's your biggest problem too, is you think this is a sales call and you don't have confidence because you're not a salesperson. You need to have confidence, and you need to make sure that they know that. If you don't want to think of it as an interview process, think of it as a consultation, right? Just think of, I'm having a consultation with them. I'm going to see if I can help them. I can see if I can provide them maybe a free little tidbit to bring value to things. What you are going to do in this interview or this consultation is you need to determine what their business challenges are. Again, I tell you how to find out that information ahead of time in my other video. And then you need to decide if you can provide a realistic solution for them. Now, if you're doing this discovery call properly, they're going to tell you what the problems in their business are. The first thing you need to do is you need to repeat that back to them to make sure that you are hearing them correctly, that you are understanding the problem that they have. And two, it makes you sound like a good listener, and what you're doing on this call is you're listening. You're not talking. Listening, not talking. And once they've told you what that problem is you need to determine if you can provide a solution. Now, this is really important, and I need you to listen to this. Don't pitch yourself if you are not a good fit. If you can't help them, don't pitch yourself. If you can't provide a solution for them, it doesn't help them in their business. It doesn't help them get results. If you can't help them, but give them the false impression that you can, it doesn't make for happy clients, and unhappy clients are not going to give you referrals. Another reason why your discovery calls might not be yielding results: are you asking for the close? Or because you feel like this is a sales call, you're afraid of the close? Let me tell you what you need to do to make it seem less salesy, less like gross and creepy, and to effectively ask for the close. Now, you've repeated back the problem to them. You've suggested some possible solutions. You've talked about, I've helped another client with something similar, or this is what I think we could do, or this is what I think we should try. And you've determined that this is a good fit. This is the type of client that you want. The first thing you don't do is, you know what, Sally, or whoever you're talking to, here's what I think we should do. Here's what my rates are. Let me know if that works. And then they're like, okay, I'll get back to you. Click, hang up, you're done. And you never hear from them again. That's why they're not calling you back. Because that is not providing value to them. That is providing sales to them. People don't want to be sold by you. You have to let them sell themselves. So here are some suggestions of how you can properly ask for the close, but not make it seem like a sales presentation. You can ask, do you feel like this would be a good working relationship? That's not that difficult of a question, right? It's a yes or no question. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. Another good question is, do you have any questions about these suggestions that I mentioned? Because again, you are suggesting possible solutions to their problems. Another good question is there anything stopping you from hiring me? And if any of these questions provoked an objection out of them, what you need to realize is that an objection isn't necessarily a no. You need to see it as a buying signal. It's just like a hurdle in the way of getting them to hire you. It's just that it's an objection that they need to overcome. Now, you may not be able to overcome their objection. They may be looking for a skill that you don't have. And what that can do is, if they determine that they need a skill that you don't have and it's not a good fit, then what you can do is you can see that as an opportunity to learn a new skill. You can see gaps in your skill set. So again, what I'm not saying is just because they have an objection, you need to convince, because that's salesy. And right, we're staying away from salesy. But just because you get a no from somebody isn't the end of the world. You can see it as an opportunity to get better at what you're doing. And the other thing is the more discovery calls that you do, the more you put these questions or this process in place, the less salesy it's going to seem, the more comfortable you are going to become with the process. So let's say that you've gone through your non-salesy questions and they want to come on board with you. What you do at that point is you just tell them what's next. What's the next step in your process? And at that point, if you want to talk about pricing, you can. You can talk about how many hours you think they're going to need, or if it's on a per project basis. You can talk about pricing at that point, but don't talk about pricing until you have somewhat of a verbal commitment from them, because chances are they've gone to your website or they've gone to your Facebook page where your rates are. They know what they're getting into. They already know what your rates are. They're not going into it blindly, because a lot of times you're probably getting this person as a referral from another client. So you talking about your pricing is what scares them off. It's very important, like I said before, you need to listen. The only talking you should be doing is asking questions to get clarification on their problems, on their challenges, on their pain points. And then once they're done identifying that, the only other talking you need to be doing is providing solutions for them. It's a conversation. It is an interview. It is a consultation. These people are looking for a solution. And as I've talked about in other videos, provide them a solution even if they never contract with you. You are going to bring value to them by providing a free solution for them, or suggesting how partnering with you can provide a long-term solution for them. So to recap, if your discovery calls are not producing clients, it's probably for one or of two or two reasons is that one, you are being salesy, even though you're trying not to be, you're coming off as a sleazy salesperson. That's just the reality of it. And two, you're probably not asking for the close because you are afraid of it, or you don't know how to properly ask for the close, which hopefully this video gave you some tips on how you can ask for the close without sounding salesy or sleazy in the process. I hope this video was very helpful to you, and I hope to see you in the next one.